Hello everyone and welcome to Cyclones TV. I'm your host Nick Durst. Let's take a look at how the team fared this past week. On Monday, June 29th, the Cyclones offense was red hot as Brooklyn burned Auburn double days 11-4. Michael Bernal hit his third home run of the year, and he also added a triple and double, coming up a single shy of becoming the first Cyclone to ever hit for the cycle. Zach Matthew finished the game with 3 RBIs. David Thompson, Tucker Tharp, and Michael Bernal each drove in 2 runs. On Tuesday, June 30th, the Cyclones fell 3-2 in a pitcher's duel against the Auburn Devil Days. David Thompson and Brandon Brozier drove in the Cyclones' only runs. Wednesday, July 1st was the Tyler Badamo show as he pitched 7 innings and allowed just 1 hit and had 4 strikeouts. His ERA for the season is now 1.83. David Thompson and Pedro Perez each had an RBI as the Cyclones beat the Hudson Valley Renegades 7-0 to finish June 8-4 and in first place in the New York Penn League McNamara Division. On Thursday, July 2nd, the team had a come-from-behind 2-1 victory against the Hudson Valley Renegades. Alfredo Reyes had a 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 7th, scoring David Thompson and Jeff Deal, which proved to be the game winner. Christian Montgomery picked up the win, and Alex Palsha tossed a scoreless 8th and 9th inning to pick up his 3rd save of the season. On Friday, July 3rd, the Cyclones fell 4-1 to the Hudson Valley Renegades. Vinny Siena drove in Alfredo Reyes for the Cyclones' only run. On Saturday, the 4th of July, Matt Blackman was lights out on the mound, pitching 7 innings while allowing only 2 hits and striking out 9, picking up the win as the Cyclones shut out the Williamsport Crosscutters 2-0. Catcher Brandon Brozier hit a home run, and Carlos Valdez picked up the save. On Sunday, July 5th, it was bigger, better, Bonnia as the Cyclones cruised to a 9-2 victory on the second Seinfeld night. Kenny Bonnia threw out the first pitch, and there were multiple Seinfeld competitions on the field throughout the night, such as These Pretzels Are Making Me Thirsty, a muffin top eating contest, and an Eat Food Out of the Trash competition, as well as the Elaine Dance contest. All the fans received a little Jerry Bobblebeak on their way in. On the field, Vinny Siena was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Manuel Zabala also scored twice, as did Brandon Brozier, who also hit a grand slam while driving in a franchise record 7 runs in the game. Earlier today, Cyclones manager Tom Gamboa shared his thoughts on the first month of action. Take a listen.
Well, in the short month of June for us, having started on the 19th, we finished 7-4, which we'll certainly take that. You always want to win them all, but as I tell the guys, I don't believe that we ever lose a game. Some nights we just run out of innings and don't have a chance to catch them. But it was a good start at 7-4. I think our pitching was very consistent. On the plus side, as was the bullpen, was stellar. On the negative side, our defense in the month of June, we did not play a single errorless game, and our defense let us down at times. And our hitting was very inconsistent, but we did perform something that we did not do last year, which was we hit well with men on base, and particularly with 2 out. And I think that timely scoring helped us to have a good month. The returning players have been a real big asset through this first 12 games, and I'm glad to see that they've learned from, I don't want to say their shortcomings, but because pro ball is always an adjustment, but certainly some of the guys, and in particularly, jump into mind, would be Michael Bernal and Jeffrey Deal. Both of those guys have potential. They're both big, strong, powerful guys. But yet their hitting mechanics and their lack of pitch selection last year caused them to not have the success that neither they expected or the Mets were hoping that they have. And yet this year, both guys were off to a great start. I know as of a couple days ago, Bernal was 11 for 32, hitting .340, and 8 of his 11 hits were for extra bases. 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples. And Deal was off to a great start, hitting over .400 and driving the ball with power as well. So it's nice to see guys making adjustments, and we've got a real good hitting instructor in Yunier Garcia and, of course, Edgar Alfonso. So these guys are listening to him, working with him daily, and I think it's going to be a fun season.
Now let's take a look at the Player of the Week. Catcher Brandon Brozier had 5 hits and 11 at-bats, 3 runs scored, and 9 RBIs, 7 of which came in one game on July 5th against the Williamsport Crosscutters, a franchise record. He had 2 home runs in back-to-back games, one of which was a grand slam. Now let's take a look at the Cyclones' upcoming schedule. July 6th, they'll be wrapping up a 3-game series against the Williamsport Crosscutters. July 8th through the 10th, the team will be taking on the Hudson Valley Renegades with the July 9th game right here at MCU Park. And July 11th, the team kicks off a 3-game series against the Aberdeen Ironbirds. Now let's take a look around the Mets organization. The Savannah Sandats are 43-37 overall in the season. Center fielder Patrick Biondi is batting .303 with 20 runs scored in 54 games. Corey Oswalt is 6-3 with 64 strikeouts and 80 1/3 innings pitched. The St. Lucie Mets are 40-41 overall for the season. Pitcher Robert Gisselman is 6-0 in the year with a 1.76 ERA and 37 strikeouts in 8 starts. The Binghamton Mets are 41-40 overall for the season. Brandon Nimmo, Paul Sewald, Luis Sessa, and Josh Rodriguez will represent the Binghamton Mets at the Eastern League All-Star Classic in Portland, Oregon on July 15th. Nimmo is coming off a career-best 14-game hit streak. Sewald is currently the Mets closer and has 14 saves. Sessa is a converted infielder to pitcher who leads the team with 7 wins and has a 2.56 ERA. Rodriguez is making his 3rd Eastern League All-Star appearance. His 13 home runs are a league high, and his 50 RBIs is 2nd best in the league. The Las Vegas 51s are currently 47-37 and sit in first place in the Pacific Coast League Southern Division. Infielder Matt Reynolds and outfielder Travis Tehran will be on the PCL All-Star team, which will face off against the International League All-Stars on July 15th in Omaha, Nebraska. Matt Reynolds has 4 home runs with 43 RBIs in 73 games for the 51s this season. He has 23 multiple hit games and has racked up 22 doubles and 320 plate appearances. Tehran has a .297 batting average, has played 67 games for the Las Vegas 51s, has 13 home runs and 40 RBIs. 6 of those home runs came in June, and he has 16 multi-hit games in the season. The New York Mets are 42-41, having won 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Wilmer Flores went 10 for 13 in this series with 5 RBIs. All right, now let's take a look at the upcoming promotions the Cyclones are running here at MCU Park. Hopefully you get the chance to check one of them out. On July 6th, when the Cyclones take on the Williamsport Crosscutters, post-game everyone can run the bases. On July 9th, when the team takes on the Hudson Valley Renegades, it's Jersey Day Thursday. They'll be black and red jerseys, and they're presented by Verizon. On Saturday, July 11th, the team will be taking on the Aberdeen Ironbirds, and it's Star Wars night at the ballpark, and there'll be post-game fireworks as well. And Sunday, July 12th, as the team takes on the Aberdeen Ironbirds, it's Minions night presented by Universal. Post-game, the kids can run the bases, there's a Sunday tea offer, and there's also a New York Cosmos soccer clinic. Hope to see you at the ballpark next week. Earlier today, I had the privilege of catching up with New York Met great Edgardo Alfonso, who is also a coach here for the Cyclones this season. Let's take a look at what he had to say. A few years ago, SNY made the Mets all-time team. You were named to the team, you went on stage, and you said, what am I here for, second base or third base? So my question to you is, you were able to play multiple positions in your career. How would that help a player coming through the organization now, and how have you been able to coach the players into being versatile?
That was a joke, by the way. No, I always tell the guys, I'm the guy who you had to be open to try to play multiple position, because when the opportunities come, if you only play shortstop and they count third base, and you not be able to play in the big leagues because you only play shortstop, so you don't prepare the third base. What I try to tell the guys is try to work out in all 3 positions, even first base, because you never know when if you hit, they're gonna find a spot for you in the lineup. And the other thing is, then you have to realize, then maybe for emergency, you can play other positions than your natural position. So that's my mentality. This helped me a lot in my career. So I try to tell the guys, whenever I know you're a natural third base, try to go through shortstop and take ground balls over there. Have an idea, working at the angle and second base too, and have an idea how you play those positions, because you never know what's going to happen later on.
And is there any player currently with the Cyclones that reminds you of yourself, or that has impressed you so far this season?
I'll tell you what, I like the way Sienna play, the way he hits, the way he handles himself in the field, and to be a young guy, first time in pro baseball, he handled pretty good. And then pitching stuff has been great. It's a great group of talent. I mean, I think the talent here is it's going to be exciting this year. But the guy that I really remind me or have an idea the way I like to play is Sienna, because he's very patient, and he kind of like try to learn the game. And that's good. I mean, I don't say the other guys they don't have a talent, because Thompson, I've been seeing a couple of games, and he looks like a very mature guy. And then we'll see what's going to happen.
Okay, and as you mentioned, you did play in the New York Penn League when you first started with the Mets organization. How has it changed from now to then?
This league?
From then to now, how has the New York Penn League changed?
I'll tell you what, man. It's feeling like you're in the big league right now here, compared with back in 1992. I think it's been more exciting for players to come to cities like Brooklyn or Hudson Valley or all the New York Penn League. I think it's the competition is great, more motivation for players, and then I think the challenge is pretty good.
That does it for this edition of Cyclones TV. Remember to stay connected with the team by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Brooklyn Cyclones, liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, adding us on Instagram and Snapchat at BK Cyclones. Good night, Brooklyn. I'm Nick Durst. See you next time.